It's often said that design is all about problem solving. And that's true, but I think it's more accurate to say that when you work in marketing, design is about storytelling. And if that's the case, then let me tell you a story. About a decade ago, Pepsi had their logo redesigned, and they paid a design firm $1 million to do this. What was interesting is that at that time, the pitch presentation was leaked, so we got to see exactly what they paid for, and it was all bullshit. Page after page of justification for this little swirly by saying that this geometric pattern could be found throughout all the greatest works of art throughout history, and that it could even be found on the planet in magnetic fields, and it was even the universe. Pepsi is the universe. This is the design firm selling bullshit to Pepsi, but of course Pepsi has sold the consumer bullshit before. They've gone too far a few times. So that's their attempt at storytelling, but I think there's too much bullshit there, and when it goes that far, it's a complete abstraction at that point and ends up alienating the target audience. But what if you were to strip all of that bullshit away? What are you left with? A blank can on a shelf that just says carbonated sugar water? No one's going to buy that. There's a type of architecture called brutalism, and it's similarly an attempt to get rid of the bullshit and just be purely utilitarian. And it's universally hated because it's just slabs of concrete. No one wants to be in a structure of concrete. We want some warmth, some personality. And you can call that bullshit if you want to, but that's what we need. What people are buying is an idea. It's a lifestyle. I'm arguing that you need bullshit in order to communicate an idea, even if it's disingenuous. And that's the contradiction here. Let me get more specific. Let's think about human interactions and what it means to be genuine. Let's say there's a scenario where I'm at a bar. A woman approaches me and she's a brutalist. So she cuts out all the bullshit and she says, "I'm sexually attracted to you. I think we should have sex at some point." And if that happened to me, I would probably be horrified just because it's so direct that it's become an abstraction. And I would think, are we people interacting with each other? Or are you just pouring concrete? So that is so cold. You could argue that that's genuine. Maybe it's the most genuine thing she could say. There's no bullshit there, but I would prefer a little bit of bullshit just so I could feel like we have some kind of connection as people. But you don't want to take it too far, because once you start using that flowery language, well, let's talk about the inverse. So let's say, same scenario. Woman comes up. This time, she starts quoting Shakespeare. Really romantic stuff. Okay, she just launches into a soliloquy. Says something like, "My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite." So I would say, stop. I don't know what it is that you're doing. Please don't talk to me. I don't like this. Because that's also way too abstract. Who talks like that? That's the sort of like peak bullshit. I mean, I don't know. I guess what you'd want is for someone to just come up and disingenuously say, "I like your shirt, but what do you do?" And maybe that's bullshit. It's a little bit of bullshit, but that's what you want. Okay, which brings me to my point, which is, why am I drinking a beer while filming this? Is it because you and I are just hanging out, having a conversation, sharing a drink? No, there's nothing genuine about this. I'm alone in my room talking into a camera. But I'm doing this because this is the best way to make my point. And yes, this is all theatrical. I'm performing. This isn't real. But this is what you need to do. Whether you're a writer designer, whether you're in marketing or maybe you're just giving a speech at a wedding, you need to find the right amount of bullshit. Not too much, not too little. But you hit that sweet spot and you become an effective communicator, an effective storyteller. This video has been brought to you by Pepsi